Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another networking nugget, networking supercharge. I have no idea what I'm calling these this month, but you know what? Welcome to our quick one-on-one conversation with one of my favorite networking partners. We're doing this all month as we gear up for the release of the new editions of Networking in the 21st Century and Networking in the 21st Century on LinkedIn. Those are coming out September 30th. I'm your host, David JP Fisher, D-Fish, and with me, one of truly my favorite networking partners and friends, Andy Crestodina. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Very good, D. Glad to be here.
Super excited that you could take a few minutes to chat with us. Andy is the Chief Marketing Officer and co-founder of Orbit Media Studios here in Chicago. He's also the author of Content Chemistry. He is a truly sought out international speaker on all things content marketing and digital marketing. He's a complete mensch, and very grateful that he's my friend. And after all that build up, you better deliver, Andy, which
ready. Sounds good. No pressure.
Hey, so we're asking everybody a super simple question. What one activity has had the biggest impact on the quality of your network, Andy?
I love this question. I've got 1.5 answers. The second one is like really you're featured in, but I'll start with this. I am a content marketer. We're known for our blog and our events and for our newsletter. I use our content as a networking tool, and I will occasionally publish an article that sort of weirdly where the biggest benefit of it is networking. A couple of good and recent examples of that, one which you mentioned just a minute ago, is the roundup. I do roundups sometimes. And first of all, as a general rule, I would say never publish a piece of content without having a contributor in it.
Love that.
Why not? Why wouldn't you? You missed a networking opportunity. You missed a prospecting opportunity. You missed a thought leadership, social ego bait, piggybacking opportunity.
Right.
So as a rule, we never write an article that does not have contributor quotes. Improves the quality of the content, improves the social reach if they share it, and improves your network. But occasionally I'll do one that's just a straight roundup, and I try to make them interesting. This one that you were part of, and it was so charming, and I loved your contribution.
I know you're going with this. Okay.
27 desks of marketers. So everyone sees what they look like from this view, right? But I asked all these people I know to take a picture of their desk and to see the setup,
right?
The light and the mic. How do people do it?
Yeah,
it was awesome. And some people clearly cleaned their whole desk, and laid it out. But you did a beautiful thing, which was to show the reality.
The reality.
It was like, there was a board game under your laptop, and the camera, you had everything for high quality.
All of my son's toys were everywhere.
Toys everywhere.
This was when we were still in the pandemic in my old condo, so it was a little squishy. Yeah.
Yep. So basically, use your content as a networking opportunity. It's done amazing things for me. I could tell you lots of close friends that I sort of met through reaching out to people for contributor quotes and occasionally publishing a roundup. It can do wonders for your network.
I love that. And the word that I would use here is collaboration. And that's something that I actually learned from you to build my network, because I became much more collaborative in how I create content, whether it's, as you said, getting quotes or getting people to contribute to articles, or, I started my podcast.
What are we doing right now?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I started my podcast, Beer Beats and Business, more for the opportunity to talk to people than for people to listen to it. I like when people listen, but that networking opportunity is huge. I would almost suggest too, the one thing I like about this is that it allows you to actually network with quote unquote competitors, or like people that you might feel, hey, we do the same thing, or I know a lot of people feel kind of iffy around that. And what I found is that as I collaborate with people who do sales training and LinkedIn stuff and networking, we often have way more nuance between what we do. And it's become a great source of business referrals, right? Because we go, oh no, I don't really do that. Call Robert, call Samantha, instead of, and they do the same thing right back, right?
So true. It's very common. A lot of people just don't realize that their presumed competitor actually has like a different value proposition, different price point, different target audience. I heard someone once call this, I loved it. It's like sawdust, like sell your
Mm,
sawdust. It's like the thing that you don't use. Their sawdust could be great for you, and yours could be great for them.
yeah.
So it's really, anyone that you think is a competitor, you probably just haven't hung out with them enough. A couple of conversations, and pretty soon the referrals will be flying back and forth.
No, I love that. Sometimes it is just creating an excuse to hang out with them, right?
Yeah,
And be around them. And
yeah,
I think to your point, you even mentioned the idea of like becoming friends with people after you collaborate. There's again, on the surface, competitors who I've now realized like, oh, we're friends. Like I
yeah,
actually want to help them be successful.
yeah.
Hopefully they feel the same, but I mean, if not, there's nothing I can do about that.
That brings up my second point, my second idea, just super quick, which was all the founders of all the digital agencies that I knew in Chicago. I just
Mhm.
invited them all out for tiki drinks. The basement bar, you know which one I'm talking about, that has it's like a secret tiki bar.
3 dots and a dash. Is that
That's
the
in a
one?
dash.
Okay.
Yep. Like a sticky floor, like crying into our pina coladas. Like it was no ego, but I got all of the founders of all the agencies to get together. And now it's a network. Now it's a regular event. It's like a quarterly event. There's a Slack group. Everyone's helping each other.
I love that.
No, yeah, it was just, and which brings me to what you do so well, and that you and I like to put together. Have you mentioned this yet?
I don't think I have. I don't think it's been mentioned in the series. Go for it.
We it's a happy hour.
Yeah, I know you were trying to define it, and I do the same thing. People are like, "You run a networking event?" I'm like, "Whoa, slow down! It's not that formal."
People have asked me like, "I heard you guys do that thing. How can I get an invite?" I'm like, "You just come have a drink." Like,
Yeah.
But people love that. It's like important social time for a lot of the people who come. So the short version, you and I started meeting up at this bar, and then we started inviting other people. And pretty soon there were a bunch of people who were asking us when we're doing it again. And then pretty soon it became an email list, which pretty soon became a spreadsheet.
Yep.
Shout out to Kylie, who ran that for a time, right? She's in Milwaukee now.
Yeah.
But then it basically became a regular thing that people look forward to and ask us about and miss it if we don't do it. But it is almost unplanned. There's very little except one email, and then we show up and maybe buy the first round, but basically just hang out.
And I think that's a really great reminder that it is often about just hanging out with people, and kind of creating opportunities to do that, whether it's in person at the bar and having a happy hour is really all it is. You and I are kind of like, we're going to be there and you can come if you want. Or if you do it digitally through content or just finding ways where you can be with people, right?
Yep.
Is kind of the secret sauce here. And it's not really that secret, just you have to put some effort into it, right?
Everybody gets value. And I think both of those examples are things that you and I might take for granted a little bit or don't think of it this way, but they're both just showing a little bit of initiative. Yeah. It's almost a tiny bit entrepreneurial to just say, I'm going to make something. I'm going to just invite people out to come to this thing. Or I have an idea for a piece of content. I'm going to invite other people to become involved in this piece of content or in this, in this happy hour. So both of these examples do require that the person just kind of like make something up.
Yeah. Well, the word you just used there, which I loved, and I think it's even a great place for us to kind of come to a close, is you invite people, right? You whether it's collaboration, whether it's coming to an event, that idea of that initiative, it's like you are taking the first step, but you're really just inviting people. Right. And sometimes, by the way, people will say no for whatever reason.
Sure.
You might be putting together an article and, invite people to contribute and they just might not have the time or the bandwidth. And that's totally okay. No problem. You can invite them to an event. They might not be able to show up. Yeah. Especially these days with all the, COVID and all that kind of good stuff. But I think what we're kind of both saying is take the moment to actually be proactive and invite them into a relationship and see where it goes. And if you do that more often than not, you'll be very pleasantly surprised with where it goes. Is that right? I'm not.
That's right. Thank you for that summary and for the opportunity to hang out here. And I look forward to the next happy hour.
Absolutely. We got to get that scheduled. And by the way, if you're not in the Chicago area, that's fine. Make one in your area.
Yeah, just make it up. And if you are in the Chicago area, drop us a line, hit me up. And it's long room. It's monthly. It's on a Wednesday. It's like 5 to 7. That's it. And
that's
smart,
super
friendly
low
marketers.
stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place to meet people.
100%. By the way, you can find Andy online right here on LinkedIn. Just go over, search Andy Crestodina. And of course, I have to tell everybody that our books are coming out in really 2 weeks. I can't believe it. It's been a year in the making, but launch day is coming. Super excited about that. Everybody will be back with some more really great conversations with super smart, super awesome people. Thanks. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Andy.